June 23rd, 2026. My thought today: humanity exists in a spectrum between self-discipline and emotion. I think the more common assumption, maybe, is logic and emotion, but today I'm referring to specifically self-discipline and emotion, and it kind of spawns off of the thought I had while I was walking. When I think about how um, the well, I kind of actually think about the two concepts: the internal locus of control and the external locus of control. Um, Let me kind of describe my thinking here, and maybe that, if you don't know what those mean, that will come into clarity for you. I was thinking about how we have these kind of viral videos going around right now describing how, well, I guess I should call it the Bricks and Minifigs saga. And it's this basically single guy built the real rough breakdown is single guy built an expensive Lego collection. He tried to get it consigned, sold through consignment. The store itself was, I should have thought of a really concise description of this whole thing. The store itself was a franchised location that got then repossessed by the corporate, and when the corporate went to possess the store, they basically ignored the fact that they had all these expensive Legos consigned in the store and just told the guy to take them to court rather than literally give his Legos back. He got in contact with a YouTuber who decided to kind of try to help the situation. And the YouTuber kind of uncovered a lot of this crazy corporate behavior and police behavior. And as a result, it blew up virally, and it's still actually ongoing. And one of the stories I heard about a few days ago, maybe 4 days ago, 5 days ago, I don't know, was that one of the people connected to corporate, I think it's the father of the current CEO or something, had his window at his house shot out by some random person. And it just made me realize, and actually maybe this isn't really a new realization, it's just, it made me think about how that guy, no matter how evil he may be, or his son may be, or the corporation may be, doesn't deserve that kind of retaliation in any way. And I would put that as the far end of the spectrum called emotion. That is the person guided by their external locus of control being the emotional response that they have to this whole situation. And they are not in control of their emotions in some way, that they would act in that way. On the other end of the spectrum, as I said, self-discipline. a complete internal locus of control, somebody who can, their guiding behavior is internally organized and operated. There may be emotion there, but that is fully kept in check internally. And they guide their decision to not act, to not shoot out somebody's window, to not be an idiot. So that's why I painted it in that kind of sense. And being that this is a viral moment, it kind of paints a picture in my mind about how humanity is attached to this. People that have been, like myself, literally virally infected by wanting to know more about this whole story. We, the virally infected, we are all in that spectrum. Do we act in self-control, self-discipline, or do we act in emotion? Emotion, I think, is what keeps drawing us back to the story, perhaps. There can be probably self-discipline reasons for doing it. Maybe if you were a business person and you were considering getting in business with this corporation or whatever, you're now concerned for the operation of this story or the outcome of this story because it literally has financial impact on your life. Excuse me. The rest of us are just interested to see what happens. I'm quite fascinated by everything going on. I do have more emotional investment in this than most. I can't even say most, than many, due to my literal proximity to the police force in question here. I literally live one city over from American Fork. In fact, it's so close that I cross into it basically every day. I could probably even track down the exact area that all this stuff is happening. I don't, that's not even a could. It would just be probably trivial to figure it out. I could just go over there and do it. We even had peaceful protests a couple days ago, and the YouTuber in question was there. I could literally go and meet this guy. It probably wouldn't be that hard. So anyway, all that to say is that there are people like me who are drawn up in this emotion, the viral moment of it all. But I do have self-discipline, and I am not going to be doing anything stupid, involving myself in it in any way, attacking the police, attacking the CEOs, their parents, anybody related, whatever. It's interesting, and most of the people that are infected by this virality really can't meaningfully take any kind of action toward it, and many probably would that just aren't even nearby. And it's kind of like I have this visual in my head, a map of the United States, and you can probably see the viral infection spreading across most of the country, probably localized in the cities, as most maps are, just because of population density. And if you were able to map the number of people that would act based on their emotion, their external locus of control, the Wood Act group is probably very high, very large, a significant number of people. And to me, I'll just state a large number of people would be more than 100. Very large is much larger than that. I mean, 200, 300 people, that's very large. People that I would expect, if given the chance, easily would do some kind of negative thing related to all this. So it's that's the concept. That is my deep thought of the day. What kind of call to action does that make me think about? I guess it's just to assess your internal and external locus of control. Are you controlled by your emotions, or do you have the self-discipline to make correct choices regardless of said emotions? The day itself was pretty good for me. Mostly I worked on the app all day. Got a lot of good stuff done again. Very productive. I did my walk a little earlier than sunset, although it was, again, totally dark. I mean, I left at 8:30. I think lately I've been leaving it between 8:45 and 9:15. So just half hour, 15 to half hour earlier on average, I guess. But yeah, it was a beautiful sunset. It was still 91 degrees or 92 degrees in the dark. It was very muggy and hot. Well, not really muggy, but definitely hot. Kind of a stifling, warm heat. And that was basically the day. And I've uploaded my next version to submit. So made those fixes. We'll see if I can finally get the old Google Play to be cool. All right. That is all. Thanks for swinging by. Until next time, take it easy.